Welcome back, guys. I trust you've been staying safe. A group of armed robbers in South Africa attacked the Pentecostal church during an ongoing service of the church, robbed and ransacked the church, and kidnapped the deacon as they exited. Let's watch the footage and I'll come back and explain how it played out.
Successful people in life, and what there are some key principles here on the Bobra. Now, oh yes, sir. Please.
So there you saw it. Now, these gang of armed robbers have done the unthinkable because per the actions they took, they unleashed a terrifying assault on this church. And this church constituted largely of Ghanaian worshippers who were attending the church service at the Church of Pentecost in South Africa. It is very, very unfortunate and very ironic that now the house of God is being invaded with guns. Even now, during war, there are certain places that are not to be attacked, and one of them are churches, also including hospitals and mosques. So to have a group of armed robbers being bold enough to decide that they are not just going to attack the church, but they are going to do so during church hours when the service is actually ongoing, and then rob the church, heckle, harass, manhandle the pastor, rob the church of its money and offering, mobile phones of members and even the pastor himself, and then kidnap their deacon. I think this is a whole new level of crazy, and you begin to wonder what is going on here. Now, you see in the video these armed robbers in masks. They stormed the church in a sort of Rambo style while the church service was ongoing, and they left that trail of chaos and fear in their exits. You will notice that they are armed with pistols, and it's like they took charge of the whole place. The pastor was just overwhelmed, and this brought about a debate on social media where some people were of the view that if these Christians in this church or largely claim that the God they worship is so powerful, then they shouldn't be scared of these guys. Then there's another group saying that that is not how it works. You can't just get up and start saying these things and throwing your weight around when a gun is pointed at you. But you have to go through some of these things, but in the end, God will deliver you. That is what I believe. I don't think that by virtue of you being a Christian and needing to show your God is all powerful, that means you have to step up to a gun and believe some way, somehow that you are invincible to a gunshot. I don't think that is how it works. Maybe unless God directs you to do so. But that is besides the point. Now, if you watch the video, you will see that the preacher, presumed to be the spiritual leader of the assembly, was not even spared. He ended up falling victim to the ruthless criminals, and you would see one of them even kicking him as he was on the floor and gesturing to him that he should wake up and ask him some things, take his phone from him and stuff. Now, thereafter, you'd see that this preacher was whisked away by the robbers to an unknown location. And this is where the kidnapping came in, because this was when they were exiting. It's unclear the total number of robbers that undertook this crazy escapade. But you would notice that when they were exiting, there were, I think I could count roughly about four people all together in this footage. I don't know why they left this camera running as they were there, unless maybe they missed it. But all in all, this was also not just a church service. This was when the church were organizing a fundraising for their project. So there was money at the church premises on this particular day. The church had actually advertised that this was the day they were going to take that project offering fundraising. So I'm sure these robbers knew that on this day there will be money in the church. But beside that, some people have also alluded or alleged, should I say, that this could be an inside job. Of all the days, why is it that it was only on this day that the armed robbers decided to attack, the very day that the church is raising money for a project? But then again, that advert talking about this day being the day designated for fundraising for that project was also advertised on social media. And you know, these robbers will definitely also have a social media account of a sort, so maybe they might have seen it. But the other thing that made people suspect that there would be an inside person was the fact that they took this deacon away. Now, this deacon is allegedly called Elder Emmanuel Kujo, and it's alleged that he sees to the finances of the church from the ins and outs of all the monies that the church owns. I did further digging, and I gathered that he's not just a deacon, but it turns out he's also a chartered accountant and holds a high position with one of the banks in South Africa. So it is unclear whether he was the main target of this attack or they just took him because of his position in the church. It's not clear whether his kidnapping has to do with his work outside of the church or his work and position within the church, or maybe something from his personal life. But either way, the church was not spared. You could see the trauma that these people were going through. And what bothered me so much was the fact that there were even babies crying in the background. And you begin to wonder how heartless these robbers are, because at a point, some of these things should prick you, so your humanity kicks in. But these guys seemed unperturbed. And these are Ghanaians suffering this in South Africa. And as is rightly expected, the Ghanaian High Commission issued a statement. This was what they said. The mission is presently working with the church in cooperation with the South Africa Police Service to ensure the speedy and safe release and return of the victim to his family. Now, the victim here is Elder Emmanuel Kujo. So, then the statement goes on to say, kindly note that the South African police is fully focused on the matter and is working hard to ensure the safe return of our compatriots. Mission wishes to advise all members of the Ghanaian community to take necessary precautions to ensure their safety and well-being, and will update the community of all further developments related to the case. So, that was what the statement from the Ghanaian High Commission in South Africa said. But, like I was saying, there is still that suspicion that this is an inside job. Fortunately, however, as at the time of making this video, the elder has returned. Now, I think there is more to this. Why was he taken, and why was he then left to return? What went on behind the scenes? Because they wouldn't take him unless they needed him for something. So what did they need him for? Was he used as a human shield so they could escape without being pursued or shot at? Or was he picked? Or was he abducted because they had wanted to hold him for ransom? If yes, why did they let him go? Or was this something else? I believe the police will have to question Elder Emmanuel Kujo. There could be something there, or there could be nothing there. But either way, the police would rather have to be sure than leave it only to later find out that there was something there that could have given them a clue. So this case, in as much as Emmanuel Kujo has returned, for me, it shouldn't be ruled as it's over. It should be taken on as an ongoing case that is going to be looked into, because aside his kidnapping, there was also an attack and a robbery perpetrated against the church, and that needs to be investigated to its core. Did somebody give a tip-off? If yes, who was it? How come they came and they picked this deacon in particular? Or was it just a coincidence? We don't know. But lately in South Africa, it seems the violence is on the rise. There's another case where a pastor was actually shot at and killed whilst he was preaching at a pulpit in South Africa. That's the next video I'm going to work on. You can just hold on a bit and the details will shock you. I don't understand how come these criminals are getting so bold to the extent that they have the effrontery to enter the Church of God and open fire on people or harass people to this extent. In a way, it also takes away from whatever the South African police are doing, because it seems that these criminals are more bold and more determined in their pursuit to perpetrate crime and terrorize society for their selfish financial gains. And sometimes when things like this happen, it looks like the police are not up to the task fully to curb these occurrences. What do you think about this whole case? Do you think that there's an inside person? Do You think the church is being persecuted in South Africa, or this is just a one-off or a random thing? You think that there was more to this than just robbery of a church? Let's see how this goes. I'm waiting to see the final report from the South African police if and when they conclude this investigation. But I'm following the case. As and when any updates are due, trust you me, you'll definitely get it. Until then, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, leave your comments in the comment section, and keep an eye out and stay safe out there. I'll catch you in the next one.